Open up the shoulders, neck, upper back, a little bit of the middle back and lower back, but mostly the upper body. We're gonna start with a nice seated stretch. So you can do this kind of seated here, okay? And then what you're gonna do is just take your left hand outside your right knee, okay? Then you're gonna take your right hand above your head, get a big sweeping motion, keeping that anchor and trying to reach for distance. So hopefully you're able to get a little further than me. Feel like you're going very much vertical, not horizontal. Straight up above your head. Hold that. Nice easy breath. And then switch sides. Okay, so right hand outside the left knee, left hand above the head. Make sure you don't go with it, right? So what I mean by that is the tendency for some people is to their left hip comes off the ground in this instance. You want to keep your hip down. So really reach up above your head. Feel that stretch. And relax. Okay, going into all fours real quick here. What we're going to do is what's called a shrug. Okay, so we're going to do a couple different exercises out of this, but this is just a vertical kind of pressing yourself away from the ground and then pulling yourself towards it. So press yourself away and then pull yourself towards it. So you're gonna kind of feel like you're opening up your chest and then kind of, maybe like squeezing your chest. So nice and long and back down. One more. And good. Now simple here. We're gonna move our one arm at a time and alternating here, forward. Okay, we're gonna call these alternating front raises. Lead with your thumb. Make sure you're keeping your shoulder away from your ear. Okay, a lot of people will shrug in this instance, and then try to keep your arms straight. You'll notice I struggle a little bit more on my left side. You might struggle a little bit more on one side versus the other. And then back down, okay? We did kind of a vertical shrug. Now we're gonna go kind of, I'm gonna call it a circle, okay? So we're gonna almost press ourselves through the shoulder blades and create these arm circles around our scapula. Okay, so this is a very different motion, right? But all you're doing is kind of moving your rib cage around the shoulder joint. Okay, we're gonna go one way first, and then we're gonna reverse it. Okay, so you should feel like, again, you're kind of moving your rib cage around your shoulder joint specifically, or your arms. And then just feel like you're getting a little bit longer with each kind of rotation. As you go through each one, you feel like your range of motion is getting better and better. Pretty sure I just messed up the direction. One more, and good. Next, one of my favorites. We're gonna go down, put the forearm kind of right in the midline, okay? And then I'm gonna sit back into my hips. From here, I'm gonna go elbow to elbow, loosely hold behind my head. I'm gonna turn up to the ceiling, really push, and then back down. Okay, we're only gonna do a couple of these. Take your time, pushing down through the ground, in addition to rotating hard to the ceiling. Should be loose fingers. Okay, and switching sides. So, forearm in the midline, hand behind the head, open up, push down through the ground, back down. It's normal to hear kind of a Rice Krispie treat situation where snap, crackle, pop, right? One more. And good. Okay, back to the other side. Probably the most advanced one, hardest one. Take your hand behind the lower back, almost in the opposite hip pocket, okay? If you're tight like me, it's gonna be an issue. Okay, holding here, making sure not to lead with the elbow, okay? Turn to your shoulders, okay? A lot of people will just move from here. We're trying to move through everything. So get that turn, push down to turn. One more. Okay, and then again, it's normal to have a different right to left side. Very normal here. Pushing down to the forearm. pause at the top, maybe a little longer than I am. Trying to get out of that position. And good. Okay. And then next, we're going to get some length like we did in that first little stretch. We're going to be down in this position again, kind of sitting back in our hips. I'm going to reach my hand forward like I would for like a child's pose, except while I'm here, I'm going to get my left, or my forehead on my left wrist, and then I'm going to reach almost on a diagonal. So I'm walking my fingers over and across. This opens up the ribs. Okay, so you should feel that stretch all the way down from your armpit to your hip. Switch fists / wrists, reach forward, and then walk yourself over. And again, we're trying not to, you can move the wrist if you need to, but you're really trying to get that length between your hand and your hips. So pushing back into the hips helps to stretch. Easy breath. And relax. Okay, last one that we're going to do what's called the half kneeling stretch. Okay, so from here, there's a couple ways to do it. I'm going to put my opposite hand of the foot that's in front down, and then I'm going to rotate through my shoulder and then take that right hand up to the ceiling. Okay, so I'm just trying to hold this position. You should feel some core work here. Okay, right hand above the left. Okay, this is probably the easier version. Okay, and then switching sides while you're in this position. So you're not actually switching feet, right? So now I have this big stretch. Really trying to turn through those shoulders. Big stretch here. Push down to turn. Okay, switching sides. Okay, so opposite hand of the foot that's in front, reach up to the ceiling. Take your time at the top. Feel a good stretch. Try not to move your knee / leg like I was. Okay, and then last one here. Reach to the ceiling, opposite hand. Each one of these again should feel similar but different, right? You're working roughly the same muscles, but different planes of motion, certainly different mobility, ranges of motion with each one. And you're just learning how to move through different ranges of motion and controlling it. So I'll keep going with these stretch series. And as long as you keep telling me what hurts, we'll keep trying to fix it. Have a great rest of your day. Feel free to save these. Click the little save button, and then they'll stay in your saved section on Instagram or YouTube. Have a good day.